Hello everyone, my name is Dana Guerrero. I'm from Esmeraldas and I am 21 years old. Today we'll talk about a very important topic in the academic field, both for teachers and students: the type of plagiarism and how to avoid it. Here it says that plagiarism is known as the crime of making one's own the ideas of the other author that is not recognizing the true author. As we all know, plagiarism is basically a crime where someone else's ideas or words are appropriated without acknowledging the original author. Many times people do it intentionally, and there are other cases where they do it unintentionally. Here we can offer some types of plagiarism and its main characteristics. The first one we see is complete plagiarism, where it says that it is the most serious plagiarism and the person takes a written investigation from someone else and presents it on their behalf. It is an intellectual property crime. In short, it is a type of intentional plagiarism, since the author is aware that the research is not his and he appropriates it arbitrarily. The next is source-based plagiarism, where it says that the researcher cites a primary source only, having used a secondary source of information, and the researcher does not cite correctly. In summary, it is a type of plagiarism that can be intentional, and in other cases not. It is intentional for those people who use invented cite on purpose. And for people who don't know how to cite well and mistakenly only recognize one author, thinking that is right, that is an intentional case. That is why it is important to read a lot about how to cite correctly. The next one is direct plagiarism, where it says that the researcher made use of other people's texts, copying word for word, taking other people's attributes from another author. It is a totally dishonest act academically. In other words, even if you copy part of certain words from someone else's research, you must cite it, because if you don't cite it, it is considered plagiarism. The next type is self or auto-plagiarism, where it says that this is the reuse of data already published by the same author. It is the duplicate of a word published more than once, and it does not allow you to develop your superior knowledge, and since you recycle your original work to publish it again, passing it off and published. And in this case, even if we use part of an investigation where we are the author himself, it is considered plagiarism, and it is not recommended to carry out this act of plagiarism because it limits your knowledge. The next one is inaccurate authorship. Here said that the person does not cite all authors, and the researcher arbitrarily edit an author's scholarly article. In this case, it is necessary that we cite all the authors, because if we exclude certain authors, we are taking information from others arbitrarily. The next is mosaic plagiarism, where it says that it is the most difficult plagiarism to detect, and the researcher interprets pieces for another author's text. It is considered a deliberate and immoral act. This case is more difficult to detect, but not impossible. So let's try to do a segment without plagiarism that shows our academic honesty. The next one is accidental plagiarism. It happens consecutively in universities. Whether deliberately or not, it is inferred as plagiarism. Since this case is very common in university students, we must be attentive to the investigations we carry out, and before publishing the investigation, verify if there is a plagiarism in a plagiarism detector program to avoid inconveniences. And the last one is paraphrasing plagiarism, where it says that is the most common plagiarism scene. And the researcher simply changes the author's word to synonyms, but the idea remains the same. In this case, it's common throughout the educational system. Students want to avoid plagiarism by using synonyms, but they don't realize that the idea is the same. So it is important to read a lot to improve our reading comprehension. Well, we have an important note at the end here in the chart, in the red chart, and where it says that it is important to analyze all these types of plagiarism, since at the time of writing an academic article or research, the student must learn to understand and interpret a text and give it a sense of relevance with their own words. Well, that's all. I hope you have understood the importance of avoiding plagiarism and that we try to carry out our academic activities honestly. Thank you. Bye bye.